Hello everyone, it's Wizard again, and I'm going to go over the troops in the Ork Codex today. It's going to be a relatively short video, but I want to touch not just on the troops, but strategies with them and pairings with HQs and complementary units. Alright, so the first thing you have is the Ork Boys. Okay, Ork Boys are cheap. 6 points per model. Um, Upgrades are pretty varied. You can get stick bombs. No, don't get the stick bombs. I mean, just numbers is what you have here. You have numbers. All right. Replace their sluggas and choppers with shootas. I've seen and I have done moderate success with choppa slugga or shoota mobs. Um, Ideally, shootas only get about 20. Sluggas, if you're gonna foot slug it, go freaking 30. You know. And then for every 10 orcs, you can get a big shooter or a rocket. Now, on my Slugger Boys, I don't take anything anymore. I don't take any big shooters or rockets. I used to be in the camp where you can't have more than enough rockets. Just take as many rockets as possible. And for my shooters, I actually take big shooters just to increase the shots, and it's 5 points per model. But now I don't take any upgrades on my Sluggers. Just run, wog, kill. One mob per army be upgraded to Ard Boys 4 points per model. And see, this is kind of hit and miss for me. It's 4 points per model, which isn't bad. I mean, that's relatively cheap. It does make your orcs 10 points. I don't want to take a mob with 30 though. So what I have done in the past, I'll take a truck squad, which is 12 trucks can fit in a truck, or 12 orcs can fit in a truck. And I'll take truck squad with a knob. I've also taken 11 with a knob and then put Mad Doc in there, and that is actually incredibly fun. You get the 4-up save, the 4-up invuln, and you're fearless, so you don't have to worry about those points running off the board. You got 2 power claws in there because of the Mad Doc and the knob. It works relatively well. The knob can take a big chopper or a power claw. I've heard some people say that the big chopper is, not a bad alternative. Take the power claw. If you're playing like a 500-point game, then you know what, the big chopper might be the way to go. And then you can take heavy armor and a boss bolt. A lot of people are saying take heavy armor and a boss bolt. Take the boss bolt, and that's okay. Take the boss bolt. That's fine. I don't always take the boss bolt though. I like to keep it cheap, and people will give you flack for that. But you know what? If they're down to the point where they have to take tests off the boss bolt, their lethalness is probably in the bucket anyways. Now the heavy armor is interesting because you could put wound on the knob every now and then and test for the armor, but you know what? If you have to put wounds onto the knob instead of taking boys away, then you're also probably down to where your lethality is almost gone again. So I don't take that either. But the power claw, just for the amount of killing, that's my only recommendation for that. Like I said, they can take a truck, and then 12 or fewer models can take the truck. The unit size is 10 to 30, so take either 30 or take truck squads. I mean, in between, take shooter boys is okay for taking in between squads, but that's about it. Then you got Gretchen. Now, Gretchen are, how you put it? They aren't that great. They're only 3 points per model, but for every 10, you have to take a runt herd, which is 10 points, which is more than an orc. So that's kind of annoying, and you have to take at least 10 Gretchen. The runt herds do come with a couple interesting things. They come with a grab a stick and a squig helm. Squig helm lets you reroll your leadership if you fail by devouring so many grots. Usually you'll break anyways because he only has leadership 7, the runt herd, so you just keep breaking. It's useful. It comes for free. The grab a stick actually is kind of interesting, and most people immediately go and upgrade to the grab hub. What the grab a stick is one model in base contact with the runt herd loses an attack. Not bad. People go to the grot pod though because it is I believe it's a always wounds on a 4 weapon, and that's kind of nice for fighting monstrous creatures. But at the same time, you're fighting monstrous creature. The grab a stick's kind of fun too. It just depends what the toughness is on that creature, Because the thing, if you have if you went the whole shebang, had 3 runt herds, and you put 3 runt herds all in base with like an independent character, he's down to like 1 or 2 attacks. That's fine. Then your Gretchen can just sit there and try to slap him to death. Gretchen only have 2 weapon skill, and they only have 1 attack, and they do have a skill of 3 with a blaster, which is like a, was it strength 4 AP dash, I think. I don't even want to know what the blaster is for. It's not useful. um, those are the 2 troop choices you have. Now, it's kind of misleading because it looks like you only have 2 choices, but the orcs can be Slugga or Shoota, 30-man or truck squad. So you have some varied there. Gretchen really are that great. I run them occasionally, especially run them in APOC when I have because I have the models and I want to use them. Then you have, I'll go over the dedicated transport, the truck, because it's in the same section. Now the truck is transport vehicle. It's armor is 10-10-10, so that's kind of suck. It comes with a big shooter on it, which is, it's a big shooter, whatever. It's nice. It's better than, strength 5, whatever. You can give it a rocket launcher for 5 points. Now, well, the rocket launcher is not twin linked or anything, so it's kind of like, well, you can get lucky. That's why you take it. Now the other upgrades are all kind of interesting. Red paint gives you an extra inch. It originally was in the camp that you always take red paint. 5 points, take it. Now I'm in the camp where you take minimalist upgrades. You take the ones that are effective, the ones that will affect the game more often. Red paint sounds good. The 1 inch, like you get 1 inch closer to your opponent. But really, since trucks are now only 18 inches on the turbo boost, or sorry, flat out, you're gonna get a second turn charge anyways usually. Grout riggers, the truck's open top and it's armor 10. If it gets immobilized, it's more likely you're gonna be dead anyways. Stick bomb trucka, now that's not bad. It basically lets whoever gets out of the truck and assaults that turn count as having stick bombs. That's not terrible. If you're taking knobs in a truck, I would consider it, unless they already have it. I don't know. Armored plates. See, that's 10 points, and riggers is 5. And I'd still go with armored plates over riggers, but I wouldn't take either. Yeah, it's just the way I'd do it. Boarding plank is interesting. Lets 1 model inside the truck attack as if it were in close combat that turn within the enemy unit or vehicle within 2 inches. They don't get to swing back though. You get your attacks. So you can drive up and hit a dreadnought with your power claw or hit a unit. Not bad. Wrecking ball, 10 points. A little too expensive for what it does. You get a strength 9 hit on a 4+, I believe. I mean, it's nice, but trucks are really fragile. Reinforced ram is 5 points, lets you reroll dangerous terrain checks, and also lets you tank shock at armor value of 12. That's nice. You can actually, once your truck is empty, you can go around and tank shock things. I would consider taking the wrecking ball every now and then, and taking the reinforced ram when you don't take a wrecking ball, because you get to actually do something with your truck when it's empty. Or, like I'm in the camp, take 0, no upgrades, because hey, then it's only a 35-point truck. You can get more stuff. When you look at it like a 10-point upgrade, you gotta realize that's a boy, almost 2. So the more the better is my opinion. Alright, I will do the fast attack in another video coming up. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, just leave me a comment.